everybody, Hake Hardware here, and this is episode 13 of Dusty Fans. And this episode we're going to be doing the GTX 970 OC. Last week we did the GTX 970 Gaming, and there was a huge difference in the build quality of these. I mean, even just looking at the card, this thing is massive compared to the 970 OC, and the performance difference was pretty big. So I have both these pulled up here. Let me just jump into the OC. And if we look, we got a 3378 for our benchmark. And if we take a look at the 970 gaming, we had a 3771 at 62 frames per second. So we saw 6 frames per second different, which is pretty big in my opinion, and a 400 points almost for the benchmark. So pretty big difference. I think the main thing that I see here as far as specs go is the 1102 base clock, because this one has a 1114, 1102, so there's really not much of a difference as far as the clocks go. But as far as performance goes, there is a huge difference. Maybe it's just the models that I have, but we didn't see that big of an increase in performance compared to like the before and after for the gaming one. That thing was so dirty and gross. This one was actually really clean. The thermal paste was maybe just a bit old. So that's like the main reason why this one most likely performed a little bit better here. Before and after, again, like you can't really tell much of a difference. The fans, there's like a typical like dust line that you can see in some of the photos. And that is obviously removed after we clean everything. So not a huge difference. Feel free to read through the blog. We got a bunch of photos here. We can see, the just barely a little bit of dust here, nothing too crazy. Thermal paste was probably like the worst part, again, about this card. But everything looked really good. The fans, yeah, like on the underside, it's always pretty bad, which is like, okay, no big deal. Stress tests. So we saw a pretty, like the max temperature surprisingly is like the more important one typically for the stress test, whereas like the average, yeah, it's interesting, but it's kind of skewed because you can see here these cards start at like vastly different temperatures. So the before cleaning started much warmer. Likely I didn't wait long enough after the benchmark to do the stress test. So we can still see there's obviously an improvement here, and the longer the card runs, like the better. You can see it almost kind of like diverge further. As we go along, we can see clock speeds are just generally higher, so we're looking good there. Power draw is about the same, and of course fan speed is less like almost the whole time. So although the averages are slightly skewed, we can see like the max is kind of the real indicator here, and we can see like a 6% reduction in max fan speed and a 2.8 degrees Celsius, which not a big, like it doesn't matter that much. And you can see for the benchmarks, like we gained what, like 17 points, and same frames per second. There was absolutely no, where is it? Yeah, no thermal throttle events on either test before and after. So of course we're not going to pick up that much in performance. As far as the cleaning details go, super clean card, super boring to do. There was not even there was one thermal pad. So let's actually just jump into the video. Oop, wrong one. There we go. And yeah, super easy. I always find it interesting. MSI pushes the fan shroud so far forward on these cards. It's a really long card, but it doesn't look that long just because the fan shroud is so small. And unlike the gaming ones, there's like Dragon Army, it'll say on that little metal piece that sticks out on the IO bracket. 2 6-pin connectors, so nothing too crazy. I think it was 2 6-pin. I see like 8 solder points there. Maybe it is nope, 2 6-pins. It just has the option for an 8-pin there. I always love MSI. They typically make it really easy to unplug the fans. Almost no dust. Thermal paste, for sure crusty. But this had like no dust. The only thermal pad will be under that little mini heatsink. You can always tell, yeah, super crusty. If it doesn't stick to the little scraper, then likely the thermal paste need to be replaced. These are pretty easy. There was just like a top and bottom screw. Hardest part, always with these MSI cards, are the cable management. They have these metal tabs that you have to bend. And then of course you gotta like slide the fan through the fan shroud, which is always a nightmare because I always feel like I'm gonna break a fan blade. Pulling that thing off, that thing needed to be replaced pretty bad. You can always, again, you can tell when you scrape it off, just like the thing is super rigid. Just getting as much of the thermal paste off before we scrub it down, which will definitely get the rest of it off. Now, I say this in the description of all my videos, and I usually bring it up when we're going through the soapy water portion. Like, this is for sure overkill for this card. It was barely dirty at all, and I only do this because of the YouTube channel. I want to get this card like totally immaculate because I'm going to be giving it away, and I want it to be like brand new. So this is more for show. There's no way I'm really gaining any performance on this card from just the scrubbing of the components, but it does make it look nice and brand new, and there is not like a whole lot that could go wrong if you do it correctly. So, and one of the things I do is always rinse it off with isopropyl alcohol, and that's not to clean the card. The card's already basically totally clean when I use the isopropyl alcohol. That is just to displace the water and help it dry out quickly, because that's the fastest way you're going to destroy a board when you're doing this method, is trying to plug it in and use it when it's still wet. And it might look totally dry, but inside like those 6-pin power connectors or inside the DVI port or the HDMI port, you might have some water, and that's going to just totally, it might not destroy the card, but it's going to have some issues and it's not going to be a fun experience. So that is why I go through the extra process of scrubbing everything. I know a lot of people disagree with doing that. That's totally fine. Start your own YouTube channel, and you don't have to do it. But for this one, I want everything to be absolutely spotless. I love the simplicity. Again, this card went together so fast. There was just 2 bolts for the heatsink, and then two bolts basically for, or 4 bolts for holding the chip to the card, or PCB. I said that all wrong. Holding the PCB to the heatsink is 4, and then 2 for the heatsink to the PCB for the mini little baby heatsink. Yeah, looks great. It's a big card, but kind of empty. Thermal paste, again, hot topic. Some people like to just put a dot in the middle. I prefer to spread it around. Main thing when you're spreading it around is just make sure you don't have any pockets, and you should be good. I always do the stress test and the benchmarks afterwards, and I have had cards where I clearly messed up and I repaste it and it works great. So typically, just make sure you're benchmarking or running at least like a stress test 10 minutes or maybe a little bit more, just to make sure you apply the thermal paste good, spinning the fans, fans spin, so everything looks good. This was not my favorite looking card. I prefer like the deep fan blades of the EVGA cards, but it gets the job done. It gets nearly 60 frames per second in the 1080p, so overall, great card. It was probably amazing, when it came out, but now it's still relevant. It's just not nearly as good as the MSI gaming one. So if you are in the market and you're looking, definitely choose the gaming over the OC version. Okay, that's going to be it for this week. The giveaway will be announced. If you're not following me on X, if you're not subscribed, make sure you do that. Currently, the giveaways are going to be on Hardware Swap's Discord. You can go to Reddit, our Hardware Swap, and you see a link to the Discord, and the giveaway is going to be in there. and I will be announcing the giveaways on X. So just make sure you are following that, and you should have a chance at grabbing this card if it's still definitely very relevant if you're looking to build like an entry-level gaming PC. I mean, for a free card, it could hold you over for a little bit until maybe you can upgrade to something better and give this away to somebody else. So that'll be it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.